welcome to another episode of the It's Just a Hill Cycling Podcast. I am John, and I am here solo for a little spring cleanup episode. You know, a lot of the times I do love talking to people about bikes one-on-one, and there's going to be more of that in the very near future. But for today, I wanted to take a little bit of time to reset. Spring is here. Group rides are in full swing with It's Just a Hill, and I've had a lot on my mind after my trip to DC and everything that's been going on and off the bike. Okay, so like I said, spring is fully here in Rhode Island. Rides are getting longer, layers are getting lighter, energy is up. But before I start to talk about what we have going on for group rides here at It's Just a Hill, I do want to reflect a bit on my Pedal for Progress ride to Washington, D.C. fundraising event. It was physically demanding and emotionally profound. The end of the ride was surreal. I will have like a full video coming out very soon. I hope to put the finishing touches on that edit when I am done recording this episode. But a big thing that isn't in the video, right, is sort of like the 2 weeks of reflection that I've had since being back in my house here in Rhode Island. I had this like big emotionally profound like sort of breakdown in the hotel afterwards that I'm kind of glad I didn't capture on camera, but at the same time, like the sort of the content hungry person in me wishes that I did have it on camera. But basically I got back, I got to the hotel, I met Jocelyn, I got up there, I put my bike away, I cleaned up and all that sort of stuff and was sitting on the bed. And what I remember happening was like, Jocelyn was like, well, how do you feel? Like, you should feel proud. And I immediately sort of broke down, and in breaking down emotionally and like crying while sitting there, I finally found the time to reflect. And what sort of came to me in that moment, which has really stuck with me a lot in the last 2 weeks, is that I need to be better at learning to love myself. I'm very, very hard on myself. I would say I'm my own worst critic. And it is something that motivates me to do better and continue to, put out the podcast and do It's Just a Hill things and want to ride my bike as much as I do. But I also think that sometimes I live in the moment a little bit too much and I compartmentalize things a little bit too much. And sort of like the end of the ride of the 500 plus mile ride, like went through DC, like went through downtown, right? So I very much was like very hyper focused on traffic. It wasn't like I was ending this big ride like on some back roads or something where I was actually getting to like reflect and feel all of those feelings as I was finishing the ride. I literally was like, okay, bike lane, make sure I'm signal. It was like city riding. And then I got to the hotel and I checked into the hotel and I still never like fully came down from the whole thing until I was showered and in my civilian clothes and sitting on the bed. And Jocelyn asked me that question. And it just made me realize like how much it meant to me and how much it means to like feel love and supported for myself, but also like from my loved ones, like Jocelyn meeting me there in Washington and sending me all the encouraging messages and texts that she did. And the same goes for my parents. Like my mom and dad were like sort of my biggest cheerleading squad as they always are. And they were sending me messages throughout the day, checking in with me as I was checking in with them. And like messages would pop up on my head unit, not just from them, but from other people, just checking in and stuff. And there's this sort of friend that I've had for, I'd say 10 plus years now. I think I've known him. His name is Anthony Jarvis. And I've worked with him a bunch and we have a lot in common. We've been to shows, sort of our work relationship turned into this friendship. And we've collaborated on many things from like work projects to creative sort of passion projects. But I guess what I'm trying to say about Jarvis is we've never ridden bikes together. He has always been nice about It's Just a Hill. I don't think that he's like a cycling hater, which I think maybe some of my friends are, or like co-workers are, just based on the energy that I get from them. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about nice people. And Anthony Jarvis, like Jarvis is one of my greatest friends. But like I said, we've never ridden together. I'm sure he knows how to ride a bike, but it's just not his thing. But he reached out every day and was texting me about it. Hey, how's it going? Checking in. What was today like? As soon as I mentioned that I was even doing it, he immediately donated money. Hey, send me that link. Let me donate money. And so it just really makes me feel loved and makes me feel like, to appreciate the love, right, that we have for ourselves, but that others have for us, and that, like, not to take it for granted. I really value that encouragement. I really value that. I think sometimes I come across as like someone with like a very sarcastic, like hard exterior, and while that is true, it's also like a defense mechanism. And I am like a very emotional and sensitive person. And as much as I like being sarcastic and joking around, I also think that like it's good to reflect and be honest and be emotional with each other. So, the ride to DC, it wasn't just about miles or fundraising. And it taught me something about like the emotional connection I have with myself and the emotional connection that I have with my loved ones and my place in the world, and like why riding bikes as much as I do matters. And it can matter for like fundraising and for awareness. It doesn't just have to be like about watts or racing or anything, especially for me. It's not about that. As much as I like to push myself and progress as a cyclist and as an amateur athlete, it also is about connection and doing what's right for the world and affecting the change that you want to see in the world. So yeah, there'll be a video coming out very soon of the 5 days that I spent on my bike riding from Rhode Island to Washington, D.C., and how it panned out. So be on the lookout for that. Up next, we're talking about our group ride schedule. We just had our first spring group ride after taking some time off after Winter Bike League, which was a bunch of fun and will, of course, be coming back. But that's for 6 months from now. Right now, we're talking about May riding, which is some of the best riding here in Rhode Island. And the group rides are in full swing at It's Just a Hill. First Saturday of every month is our NBX shop ride. We're doing 2 pace groups, an A group and a B group. It's about 40 miles, and those are no drop rides. We're looking out for you. I'm leading out the A group, and I'm always looking for volunteers to lead out the B group. If you volunteer, and we're going to throw you something. We'll throw you a sticker. We'll throw you some swag. I'll buy you a coffee at the coffee stop. But that's what we're doing. Saturday shop rides from NBX. Keep an eye out for them on our Strava, as for all of these group rides. The second Saturday of the month is the Saturday Slop Stop Ride. This is a new ride that we're introducing. It's going to be at least a metric century, which is 62.4 miles or something like that. 100 kilometers, right? That's what a metric century is. Hilly endurance rides. Most of them will be rolling out of the community lot in North Scituate, and we're doing general store stops. The first one is 65-mile ride, and so we're doing one stop. That's at Rolly's Variety in Connecticut. Once again, you can find all this information on Strava. And a slop stop, what the hell is a slop stop? It's a place that you go and you get food middle of a ride that isn't like a gel or like an overly priced stroopwafel. Not that those things aren't important. Look, I like gels. I like stroopwafels too. Actually, I like honey stingers a little bit too much that I can't even buy them because I'll binge eat them while I'm sitting on my couch instead of saving them for when I ride my bike. But that's a different problem. This is not a problem. This is fun, and it's group rides, and it's slop stops. It's a place where you can get a greasy slice of pizza, a bag of chips, some gummy worms, shove them in your face, and tell your friends about how you almost swallowed a bumblebee a couple miles back on that big descent. So that's what it's all about. We're doing those second Saturday of every month. The third weekend of every month is going to be our Sunday Sip and Spin. That's like a recovery ride for someone like me, or it could be a ride where you're pushing yourself and you're someone that's new to riding out on the road, someone that's new to riding outside, or new to riding in groups. Maybe you're someone that's always ridden a bike inside, whether it be on like a trainer, a Zwift trainer, a Peloton bike, spin class, and you want to like spread your legs a little bit and see what it's like to ride outside in groups. This is the ride for you. I'll be there. I'll be leading it out. I'm thinking anywhere around 15 miles, give or take 2 or 3 miles, but very casual, 10 to 15 miles per hour tops. Absolute tops, 15 miles per hour. You will not get left behind in this ride. I promise you, we will only go as fast as our slowest rider. I will keep an eye out for you. I want to get more people out on bikes. I want to spread cycling awareness to let the masses know that cyclists are not bad. We just want to share the roads with you. We just want to be respectful of each other. And that's what this is about. We'll learn we'll share what the rules of group riding is, pointing things out, being safe, being conversational, but being clear with our communication. Those are our Sunday Sip and Spin rides. Those are going to be on Sundays. Third weekend of every month. We're going to be ending at Cold Brook Cafe. So it should be a spin and sip ride, but sip and spin sounds better. So we'll spin our legs and we'll sip. Sip and spin, not necessarily in that order. Fourth weekend of the month will be the rotating location ride. You see how I'd messed that up. The rotating location ride, we're talking about some of our favorite spots, maybe some new spots with coffee shops near the end. It might be on Saturday, it might be on Sunday, but that'll be the fourth weekend of the month. You know, we used to do rides from all these different places like North Kingstown over by Jitters, or North Coffee, or Richmond over by Higher Ground. So we're going to be reintroducing those locations on the fourth weekend of every month. Keep an eye out on Strava for those events and for this one. These are all going to be popping up and will be like on a schedule. So you'll know what to look forward to. It'll keep things fresh, but it'll also prevent like any direct repetition, but it's also more sustainable for me in the way like scheduling goes, because honestly, I spend way too much time looking at my phone and my computer, especially looking at Strava, making routes and all that stuff. Thursday evenings are also the MBX shop ride. I'm not directly in charge of those, but I will be posting them on the It's Just a Hill Strava. It's a casual ride. It's about a 22-mile loop or so. It starts at the shop. It goes south down towards Galilee, loops around to Point Judith. Everyone stops at Point Judith, takes a nice little picture together, and then people head back up 1A towards the shop. Some people ride a little bit harder than others on the way back. It depends on what type of ride you're looking forward to. I know I've been guilty of hammering on the way back. I think I've taken it easy maybe once. But when you get back to the shop, you can, sometimes they fire up the grill, cooking some hot dogs and hamburgers. There's soft drinks, there's refreshments, and people are hanging out after. So keep an eye out for the NBX shop ride taking off from the official shop of It's Just a Hill, NBX, located in Narragansett, Rhode Island. So yeah, that will be the recurring schedule. I just want to reiterate, It's Just a Hill is a hobby for me. It's not my job. I don't make any money. Maybe I made like $4 like from a hoodie sale, but when I sell hoodies, I ended up just using the money to like buy my own hoodies. So keep an eye out for other merch, and shout out to Jeff Classic and Classic Custom for helping us out all the time. But It's Just a Hill. It's just a hobby for me. I have a full-time job. Adam and I were recently at the, Adam. I know I just said Adam and I, but Adam, Bike Rhode Island's Adam, member of It's Just a Hill. My favorite email I've ever received to my It's Just a Hill email was from Adam, and we've talked about that before. But we were at the MBX flea market, and people were talking to us, some very nice people who we've met before, were chatting with us, and they said something to the effect of like, well, we have jobs. Like, we haven't been riding as much. We have jobs. And Adam was like, I have a job. And I was like, I didn't say anything, but like, I have a job. Like, and you might think that bikes are my job because you see me like ride a Century on a Wednesday, but they're not. I just have a non-traditional work schedule. Adam works for the fucking government, so he's working like all the time, and he squeezes rides in on a more traditional schedule. Good on you, Adam. He's doing Unbound in just about a month. Shout out to Adam. But me, I work as like a commercial writer and director. I have a very flexible schedule when it comes to planning shoots. But when I'm shooting, I'm working like 12-hour days, So like last week, I worked like 4 12-hour days in a row. And then I had Friday off, so I like rode on a Friday. But just because I'm riding my bike on a Friday doesn't mean I don't have a job. Why do I constantly, this is a me problem too, but why do I constantly feel like I have to explain myself to these people who are like, oh, well, John, you don't have a job. I have a job. It's just a non-traditional job. And I find time to ride my bike. It's not just about whether or not I have a job. It's what I prioritize. I highly, highly, highly prioritize riding my bike. And while I prioritize work when I'm working, I also find the time to do other things. Life is about a balance. You know what I mean? And most of us are regular people. I'm a regular person. If you're listening to this show, you're probably a regular person. We talk about pro cycling sometimes, but this show is like not for pros. It's for the everyday person, maybe the weekend punter who can just get a ride in on Saturday or Sunday. It's hard, like life is complicated and it's hard, and we're constantly comparing ourselves, especially with Strava and other social medias. We're comparing ourselves to others, and like, don't compare your ride to someone else's. Don't compare your ride to some highlight reel or something, right? Like, we need to be more honest with ourselves about like what life is giving us. And like, you're just looking at Strava and you're comparing like some average speed of one ride to another. Comparison is the thief of joy. I firmly believe that. Comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourself to other people on social media or at the workplace, on Strava, whatever it is. Compare yourself to your former self and try to be better than you were yesterday. That's what we can do as people. Comparing ourselves to others, it's not productive. It's fucking toxic as hell. So stop doing that And reminder, bikes are just a hobby for 99% of us, right? We're constantly buying things. I know I am. I'm guilty of this. I'm seeing a helmet that looks cool because a pro's wearing it and I want to wear it. But I need to remind myself that I'm not a pro. As much as I ride and I know that I'm strong and I know that I have a lot of time to ride my bike, and I'm very lucky for that. But like, my life is much more than bikes, and It's Just a Hill is a hobby, and it's a hobby that I love. I love it so much, and that's why I do it as much as I do. But it's not a second job, and so I'm trying to balance this with like a full workload and all of that stuff, and like trying to have a healthy relationship with my wife and my loved ones and my friends. And so like, come on, dog, it's a lot more than bikes. And if you're seeing someone else just for one thing, then I don't think you're giving anyone else credit, and you're not giving yourself enough credit, because bikes are just a slice of the pie. That reminds me. Check out A Guy in His Pie. That was a smooth. Check out A Guy in His Pie. Brand new spot is open. Shout out to Brian. Doing big things with pizza. Went to the soft opening. It was great. Took pizza home to Jocelyn. We absolutely loved it. Hung out outside. There's great outside seating. We hung out at the picnic tables, but there's also inside seating now, and there's alcohol that you can buy there. So it's a little bit more of a vibe. I feel like Brian would want me to say that. It's a little bit more of a vibe now, and so it's great. It's always been great, but now more people can experience the greatness, and you can experience it inside and eat inside. Check it out. It's at Lorraine Mills, A Guy in His Pie, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Find them on Instagram. The unofficial pizza sponsor of It's Just a Hill. We got to make a pizza jersey. I think I got to make a pizza jersey. Okay, I want to do some quick gear chat before we get out of here. I've got a new piece of cycling gear that I'm strapping on my bike these days, and it is the Garmin Varia View. You can see it right here. That's the box for it. We'll open this a bit and show you what else is in there. Here is the camera/light itself. So let's talk about a few things. First of all, shout out to JB at MBX and Corey over at Garmin. The day that I noticed that this was coming out, I sent an email, actually maybe a text, to JB over at the shop, and he was like, I'm on it, and ordered me one right away. And Corey who's like the local Garmin rep, helped us out. So there are more at MBX. If you want to go and check them out, you can go over there right now and look at one of these things. But if you don't know what it is, that's okay, because it is pretty new, and it is the Garmin Varia View. So for the last 6 months or so, I've been running this Cycleek out front camera. It is a little bit smaller, and I'm going to weigh both of them in just a bit. I have my scale here in front of me. This is the Cycleek, and the battery life is pretty good. I always run it on flashing. So it's a light and a camera on the front. I always run it on flashing mode over here on the light, because I think the light is very important. And I run the camera on continuous mode, and there's a button you can hit to like flag clips, but it records at like 720p. And honestly, it looks like shit. It looks like it might as well be like 480p. It does not look good. And so I heard that Garmin was coming out with this unit here, the Varia View, which a lot of you might be familiar with. The Varia, the radar that sits on the back of your bike to inform you that cars are coming. That's the RTL. There's also the RCT, the radar camera tail light, which is also a Varia, but it's the same thing with the radar on the back, but it includes the camera. Now, I have one of those, and I swear by it. It's probably the best upgrade I've made to my bike. You know what I mean? As far as strapping something onto my bike that wasn't there already. It is an absolute game changer. The camera I don't use as much. Luckily, I haven't had too many close run-ins. But the radar itself helps me to be aware when cars are coming behind me, and I highly recommend the non-camera version or the camera version. It's a little bit heavier, has a slightly different mount, but it's good. Long story short, this is the companion for out front. And much like the Cycleek, it has a flashing light and it has a camera. But better than the Cycleek, this will shoot at 4K. That's way better. That's way better than 1080. It's like 4 times better. And the light is actually brighter, and the battery life for this thing is longer. I will say it is bigger. It's probably, 10 to 15% bigger, as you see it right here. Let's weigh them both and see which one is heavier. I think the Garmin is going to be heavier. So I'm going to go grams. I don't know why my scale is set up to grams. This is 151 grams. It's because I'm always weighing cycling things. 151 grams for the Cycleek. And now the Garmin's going on there. And it is 196 grams. So it's 40 grams heavier. You heard it here, folks. The Cyclique camera is 400 grams lighter than the Varia View. But the nice thing about the Varia View, obviously not the weight, the battery is better, the video quality is better, the frame rate is better. If you just shoot at 1080, you can run the battery for 7 hours with the flashing light, which is probably what I'm going to do, at least at first. I did shoot some footage. I've taken this out for one ride, so I will throw that up on the screen right now if you're watching it on YouTube. The mounting isn't that great. It's not bad, but it like takes an Allen key and stuff. It's not a quick release. It's just like this very standard like GoPro mount, or the same thing that you'd see on the bottom of like a K-Edge mount and stuff. And this is what the Cyclique has. So it has a quarter turn thing, like a Garmin quarter turn, and then this part feeds on to the undershoe mount of the K-Edge. So it's a lot easier to just leave this on and quarter turn the camera on and off. The Garmin, you have to undo it. And because this thing needs a charge, that's kind of a pain in the ass. So I don't really love that. I wish it was more of a quick release, like a quarter turn release or something. I understand this is more secure. There's another small thing that I don't like about this as a sort of first impressions. There's a lot I like about it, and I'm excited to use it and test it out. And I do think it's like a worthwhile upgrade even already. Check out if you want to buy the Cyclique for me. It's great too. You can buy it from me. I'm going to sell it. I'm not just going to sit around on it. But the thing that I don't like about this, it didn't come with an SD card. Now the Cyclique came with its own micro SD card, and I think it was 128 gigs. If not, it was 256 gigs. This one did not come with a SD card. And like, let's be honest, the retail price of this thing is $549.99. This is not a cheap piece of kit whatsoever. It's not a cheap upgrade. Why doesn't it come with an SD card? That's kind of that seems like I bought a 256 micro SD card for like $25 to put in this. That's not Garmin. What are we doing here? Just do it. Put one that's friggin' half a terabyte. Give me a 560 whatever. Give me a 500 gig one. Give me at least a 256. Include it in the price. I didn't pay full retail because the shop is helping me out, and I work for MBX and all that good stuff. So I'm lucky that I'm not paying. I'm still paying for it, but I'm not paying $550 for it. But that is expensive, and you know the radar itself is much cheaper. I know this serves a different purpose. The battery life is nice. The sort of syncability is really nice. You can control it from your head unit. I run a Garmin head unit. I'm very much a Garmin guy. I have a Garmin watch, head unit, the rear tail light, and now the front light. So that is another sort of determining factor. I know that you can hook this up as a sensor with other head units that like accept a Bluetooth connection, but it is cool to be able to just swipe down and like take a picture and record video and flag everything. Also a nice little thing, which I feel like not enough lights have this, is there's like a side thing here. So I'm going to turn it on. Obviously the light is on, but this shows you on the side whether or not the light is on. So when you're on your bike, you don't have to put your hand in front of the light. I'm always doing that. I'm always putting my hand in front of the light to see if it's on with the Cyclique because there's no indicator on the side. This little indicator shows what the light is doing. So like when I go to flash mode, it's going to show that it's flashing on the side, which is really nice. You can just peek over and check that out. So first impressions, mostly good, mostly positive. Excited to use it more. The video quality is better. It sucks that there's no micro SD card, and it sucks, relatively sucks, especially compared to the Cyclique, about the quarter turn thing. I wish it was easier to get on and off so I didn't have to take an Allen key to it. I guess I could use one of these like quick GoPro twist things, but like that's not really sleek looking. It's definitely not aerodynamic. I'm not really that concerned with aerodynamics, obviously, by putting this brick on the front of my bike, but I do love that it has a camera, but most of all, the most important thing is that flashing light. Visibility could not be more important. You want to make yourself visible to motorists, to other people who might, drive out in front of you, people, dumb idiots in big dumb trucks. And so wear reflective gear, put a light on your bike on the front and the back, make sure it's flashing during the day if you're riding by yourself. And if you're riding with other people, ask them if your flashing light is annoying. And if you're riding at night, make sure your light in the front at least is solid, because a flashing light at night seems stupid. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. What else is included in the box? Not much. Not the micro SD card, which is bullshit. It does come with a Garmin mount that has... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it does have the quarter turn. Wow, I should have done better research here. It does have a quarter turn adaptability because it comes with its own out front mount, which I'm not going to run on my road bike because mine's integrated on my Cervelo stem. I rode a Cervelo R5. Someone recently asked me, what kind of Cervelo is yours in it? I was like, oh, I guess I never really said. I guess I don't say it much on the podcast. It's not a Soloist. It's not a Caledonia. It's not an S5. It's an R5. I rode a Cervelo S5, and it has 26,000 miles on it, and I love it very much, and it's my favorite bike. This is the Garmin mount that's provided, and it comes with a quarter turn bottom, so you can quarter turn on with this bad Larry right here. So I'll have to see if that works with my K-Edge mount on my gravel bike. It won't work on my road bike, but I don't know. I will be riding it most on my road bike. What else comes in there? A charger, cable, and some different things to expand the mount on your bar so it fits your bars. So that's pretty standard for Garmin stuff. It comes with the tether, also pretty standard. But yeah, there it is, the Garmin Varia View. Thanks to MBX, thanks to Garmin, and I'm going to be using it some more, and I will update it. I will update my thoughts on it in the near future. More cardboard that came in the box. Special shout out to my scale. My scale and I, we've gone through a lot over the years. Yeah. Like I said, if you want to check out the Varia View, you have more questions about it, of course, you can comment on the videos below. You can also head over to MBX and ask them about it. They'll inform you. They'll pull one out of the box and just show you what it looks like. It's a reminder that it's important to support your local bike shops over internet conglomerates like Amazon, who might sell you a fake chain. Please go to your local bike shop. I don't even care. It doesn't need to be MBX. Go to your local bike shop and support them instead of buying your chain on Amazon. You're going to save like $4, but you might have to take a trip to the dentist because you smashed your front 4 teeth. Was it worth it? I don't think so. Thank you for listening. That'll do it. Solo episodes aren't the norm, but I might be doing more of them. This one felt needed. Remember, I'm trying to keep It's Just a Hill fun. I'm trying to stay connected but not overwhelmed. It's important for me to check in with you, for you to check in with me. You can always send an email to John, that's Jon, at itsjustahill.com, one word. Leave a comment on the video below. Come to a group ride. You can see all that sort of stuff on Strava. Shout out to my podcasting partner in crime. Also podcasting partner in Prime, because he's a Prime guy. And that's what I was going to say before I stumbled. But BSB, the one and only BSB, he'll be back for some future episodes. So yeah, thanks to Brian. He's editing this one too. I don't know why I said so. Yeah, he's editing this one and all of them. He always edits them. That's why he's my podcasting partner in crime and in Prime, and also sometimes in secret, because it looks like I'm sitting here all alone. But I was texting him before, and he'll be editing the audio of this, and we'll be putting it up soon. So thank you, Brian. Love you, Brian. Ooh, we're gonna exchange gifts soon too. That I got excited thinking about that. We got new It's Just a Hill jerseys. And I got to give Brian his. And if you got one, thank you so much. And if you haven't gotten one yet, you're going to get them soon. Apparently, there were 2 different shipments from Moo. I'm not really sure why. It's not clear to me. And I'm sorry that you saw other people get their kit already and you didn't get your jersey yet, because it's so good looking and it looks even better in person. One person was like, oh, look, people were like, it looks way better in person. So that means you saw it online and you were like, it looks ugly. And then you decided, do I overthink everything? Yes, I need to be better at not taking everything personally and not overthinking shit. We all need to be better. Like I said, It's Just a Hill video coming out, recapping my ride to DC. Thank you all for the support. Thank you to MBX. Thank you to our sponsor, Rotation Engineering. Thank you to our unofficial sponsor, A Guy in His Pie, and my former riding friend who just runs all the time, Brian Caudy. It's okay. I saw Brian and he was like, I'm going to come to a ride. I'll believe it when I see it, Brian. Please come. Please come. I'd love to see you. Keep riding, have fun, take care of yourself. Don't overthink your watts. Don't overthink shit. That's a saying from Kenny Beats. I'm not trying to take that, but Kenny Beats, I think that might be his production company. Don't overthink shit. Thanks for sticking with me as I ramble. We'll be back with guests soon, but sometimes you just need to think out loud, and this really helped me. Take care of yourself. See you on the back roads. And remember, it's just a hill. We are It's Just a Hill, a cycling club that promotes inclusion, judgment-free, with no gatekeepers. Focused on creating content from behind the handlebars to in the studio, It's Just a Hill is producing videos and podcasts to spread the message that cycling is for everyone.
We are focused on reminding everyone that riding your bike can help you overcome any obstacle, because after all, it's just a hill.
Decaf left, regular right. Decaf left, regular right. It's very challenging work.